Oh my God. Jesus, my abs. Hi everyone, Coach Rob here. Coming at you with a solo-sode. This one's a little bit all over the place. I did not have a script put together, and I have tried several times to just sit down and record an episode for you, and it is just not coming out. I do not want to go 2 weeks in a row without putting out an episode, so I'm just going to shoot from the hip a little bit, give you guys some housekeeping stuff about the podcast and the future of it that I want to do. And let's just get it out. Let's just get it out. After the jump, here we go. Whee! Welcome back to the RF Fitness Podcast, brought to you by therffitness.net. Why do I always do that? Your source for online coaching built for and by busy grown-ups just like you who are on the quest for health and strength in everyday life. I'm your host, Rob Finlayson, certified older brother fitness coach and ranter with no banter and really no plan at all here, guys. Like I said, I just haven't had the juice for putting out a good episode by myself. I was so fired up about the Fitness as Rebellion show that I put on a month or two ago. Like I said before in a previous episode, that episode is very important to me personally. I've been kind of chasing that dragon ever since. I haven't been able to I have other ideas. I haven't really been able to put to script in a way that flows and feels and sounds right to me yet. But along those lines, I do want to bring up that we are very close to having a year of the RF Fitness Podcast. Around Mo's I think on Mo's birthday last year, I sat down on the couch with Rachel and recorded on my phone the first episode of this show. And things have changed a lot since then. Believe it or not, many things can happen in a year. Rachel's goals have changed. The situation has changed. She is taking, every other week on and off with the show. And that's cool and fine. We honor that. Her priorities have shifted, and the show was about her journey and continues to be in support of that. So even though she's not here every single week and we're not talking about, the weight loss journey, whatever anymore, we still love you, Rachel. And we look forward to having you on the show for those episodes. For the episodes in between, the solo-sode, Robisodes, Ranter with No Banter episodes, I have a whole menu of topics that I really want to get to. I made a chart, you guys. I made a spreadsheet. That's how fucking serious I'm about this. I did one on purpose. Mostly it's topics related to fitness, related to mental health. Couple of guests and gimmicks in my mind here. One thing that I really want to be intentional about in the second year of RF Fitness Podcast is having a multitude of voices on. Because who can stand to just listen to me for so much uninterrupted time? So obviously, we'll have the episodes with Rachel on there. Last year we had Mom on, my mom, not your mom, my mom, and we had Mo on as well for an episode. That was a very popular one for good reason. She's beautiful and perfect and smart. So we'll have Mo on again. We'll probably find a time to get Mom on again. There's been other friends and colleagues who have demonstrated an interest in getting on the mic, getting behind the screen here. So we'll do that too. I want to talk about Dungeons and Dragons, and I want to talk about my political ramblings and I just get so fired up about stuff. And I want to take my inside thoughts and make them outside thoughts. And then because you're listening to this in your earbuds, those become your inside thoughts as well. So I'm inside of your thoughts right now. You're thinking about it too hard, but I'm already inside. It's too late. The number one thing that I want to talk about right now is the new project, my current hyperfixation. Because what's having ADHD without having another project to do, you guys? It's about fitness and Fitness as Rebellion, basically. So it's a spiritual sequel to that. I was on Threads, as one does, doom scrolling the other day, and I saw someone post a little thread about Threads is the Instagram version of Twitter, if you don't know what that is. Someone had posted like, hey, I wish there was a space IRL or online for liberals to be strong, to lift, basically. Like I need a place for leftist lifters. And people were all about that. There is a demonstrated pipeline from fitness social media to the alt-right. Gym talk is the alt-right pipeline. I don't want to say I don't know why. I do know why. I've talked about it before. And I think it is really unfortunate that that sort of makes the assumption that, one, if you are someone who's very into working out, the assumption is that you are conservative, or that if you are not conservative, if you are a reasonable person who isn't a piece of shit, the assumption is that you don't work out, that you are not fit, right? There's this sort of avatar of, quote, the liberal, who is like an overeducated, pasty, scrawny, or weirdly overweight, or both at the same time. You know, the conservative mind does tricks on itself. Person with multicolored hair who, you know, can't run a mile, do a pull-up, or do a push-up to save their life. And in the same way, I feel like there's almost a stereotype of the conservative, who is someone who is undereducated, usually overweight, but if you had to guess at their physical prowess, you'd probably guess they're fairly strong, you know, because we think of them as them. You see what I'm doing already? We think of that group as people who are more blue collar, right? People in trades or farmers, that sort of thing. People who are physically active, physically strong. And obviously these are all wrong. Well, not all the way wrong, but they're mostly wrong, because there are farmers who are on the left and there are academics who are on the right. And obviously there are leftists and socialists and communists speaking who work out a lot. Maybe it's for the point to be strong enough to fight a cop someday. I should be so lucky. But anyways, on this thread that they were talking about, there should be a space for lifting leftists. Someone commented just 2 words in quotes: resistance training. And that got my mind spinning. So I love that idea a lot because of all the reasons I just talked about. But I think what I want to do, my next creative project, because like I said, who doesn't need another one? I want to put together a ebook for minimalist physical training, for GPP, general physical preparedness. That's what basically kettlebells is. So like we're talking about like kettlebells, body weight, maybe a dumbbell, stuff that is accessible for most people. And I want to make a plan that anyone from zero can pick up and run with, can progress with, can get stronger with, can get faster with, can feel better and healthier. I want to put it out on the internet somewhere for a pay what you want format, not for $20, not for $100, not for free, just whatever you are able or want to throw in for the resistance training e-booklet, you can do that. So I got to figure out how to do that. I got to do some homework. But that's what's my big project for this year. Earlier in the year, when I did my open letter to 2025, I said I wanted to put out a product this year. I think this is going to be it. So I'm saying that on the air right now for you guys so that people can ask me about, please ask me about it. Cause it forces me to think about it. You know, I've got other stuff. I've got other pies in the oven. That's not the saying. Fingers in pies. That's gross. Who does that? I've got many forks and many spaghettis, including the stuff at work and my own personal projects and the Dungeons and Dragons crash course that we're working on for the city of Robbinsdale is getting signups right now. So that's really, really, really exciting. So that's where a lot of my creative juices are going right now. Obviously, like I said, I'm having trouble finding juice to script things for this show, but I'm not going to give up. That's the thing. I harp so much about the importance of frequency and consistency, and I need to demonstrate that as well. I have to walk the walk since I talk the talk. I was just talking about this with a client the other day. She's having trouble being consistent with her workouts, making sure there's time in her day for movement. It's obviously very important. We talked about that to death. And I said, I just went to, because it was yesterday, I went to the dentist. I went to the dentist and they ask you the same questions. Are you flossing? Not really. Okay, yeah. Are you brushing your teeth? And for me, I'm like, definitely on days, twice a day. Well, almost always once a day. I'm so bad at my teeth, you guys. I'm chest bared. I'm bad at oral hygiene. I think it's an ADHD thing. But anyways, the cleaning was extraordinarily uncomfortable for me. It was deeply unpleasant. And we were finishing up, and she's sucking all the blood and spit out of my mouth with the tiny little hose bird that they have. And she goes, "Are you doing okay?" She must have, because I was like tensed up. My whole body, I was in fight or flight. She goes, "Are you doing okay?" And I go, "Yeah, I'm great." She laughs and says, "Yeah, I bet you're going to floss and brush now, huh?" Which, okay, maybe a little bit mean, but fair, and deserved. Pain is a good teacher. Pain is an excellent teacher. Yes, I am going to brush and floss now because that sucked. I don't want to have to feel that way again, I have been in fights. Usually fights that have rules to them. And I've gotten my ass kicked in public in a ring on a stage before. And that sucked. Actually, it was a ton of fun, actually. But it hurt a lot physically. So I learned I need to train XYZ that much harder. There are stakes, guys. There's stakes to your behaviors. If you're not, well, God, what was it? Anything you don't change, you choose, I think was the saying. That kind of blew my mind. Even if you're not saying, "Oh, I choose," no one says, "I choose unhealth. I choose weakness." I talk about this a lot, choosing weakness. I choose weakness. No one, I think, verbalizes that, even to themselves internally. But by not changing the status quo away from unfitness, away from physical weakness, away from poor dental hygiene, you are choosing pain. You're choosing pain. And I don't want that. I don't want to be choosing pain anymore. I'm over it. I'm done with that. Or at least I get to choose the type of pain, the pain of training or the pain of regret. And that's something you see on martial arts studios all the time. Gyms, fucking alpha male shit. And that's the kind of shit that leads down the alt-right pipeline. God, I'm getting off the rails again. It's only 12 minutes in. Yeah, I think that's it. I am going to make it a short one. I've got, like I said, I've got so many ideas. I just need to have a brain that is more organized and fewer question marks in my day-to-day. Because there's a lot of just wondering what now. Instead of, I have time for this, I'll do that. I have time for that, I'll do this. That's what I should do. I got to pull it off, man. I got to pull it off. And I can help you to pull it off too. This has been the RF Fitness Podcast. Yes, I am available for online coaching and new on a very reserved basis. I'm available for in-person coaching as well. I currently have a pair of in-person clients that I see in their home once a week. It's a couple, so I can do two at once, you guys. There's options. Reach out. Let me know. If you want to know what's right for you or what other options you have, you can go to rffitness.net. That's rffitness.net, and then scroll all the way to the bottom of the page to see the kinds of coaching I offer, to see what works for you. If you are curious, you want to move forward, you can do the client application, and be sure to hit join the party at the bottom of the page to jump into our community Discord server for free. The theme music is Funk AF by Everett Almond and is distributed by YouTube Studios. Thanks for listening, guys. And as always, keep questing.